Hello everyone, FTDZMMAY here, back with some more Bloons Tower Defense 6. This week's of Bloonarius happens to be on Alpine Run, and so since Bloonarius is back and actually on a decent map that isn't like something like, Basalt or Shoots, I actually can try out a super buff tower this video. And that super buff tower shall be the Bloon Exclusion Zone. The XX5 Dartling Gunner. Figured why not, haven't actually done any of the Dartlings yet, so just because I figured Mad can definitely easily do this. I technically already did Ray of Doom. Ray of Doom was not able to actually be able to beat Bloonarius, which is a bit unfortunate, but again, it's just kind of whatever. Also, I bought Geraldo way too early. Probably should have done some quick math there. But anyways, yeah, did technically already did Ray of Doom. I deleted the video, and I will not be re-uploading it just because that video kind of include a major editing mistake that cut out, the video like a lot sooner than it really should have, so I figured might as well just delete it, as again, wasn't really too interesting in my opinion, as again, Ray of Doom wasn't anywhere close to actually beating Bloonarius, so it was actually kind of sad. This is before the Ray of Doom, the many Ray of Doom buffs that, Ray of Doom has had, where I think it's like, I think the huge buff that was missing was the plus 55 damage for like the first target that Bloonarius actually, that Ray of Doom actually hit, so that's going to be a huge buff that I do think might actually be able to make Ray of Doom be able to beat Bloonarius, but we'll do Ray of Doom another time. I really don't want to do all the I guess all the tier 5 Dartling Gunners too soon, or maybe even the tier 4, as Plasma Accelerator did do pretty well in that video, but again, you won't really be able to see that. So for farming strategies, second marketplaces, I guess I could do, but to be honest, that is kind of boring in my opinion. I have seen a lot of people who were able to generate like over $100,000 before round 30, kind of utilizing IMF loans. So I am kind of wondering, if I can maybe do the same thing. Of course, it's not really going to be, optimized or like really kind of efficient, seeing as again, first time I'm actually be trying something like this, but I guess my goal right now is just to see if I can actually be able to afford, Bloon Exclusion Zone before, like by round 30, which I think would be pretty cool to do. But I mean, again, not really something that's overly difficult, because for Avatar Wrath versus Lich, I was able to afford AOW by round 40, but then again, I think that was on easy, so AOW was only like, what, like 38,000? Well, not in total. In total, I think it was only like 40 something thousand, which is easily doable before round 40, but again, I don't think I'm gonna get the full 100+ thousand, but I guess, just enough to be able to afford Bez isn't really, I guess, too tall in order to do. So, I guess I'll see you guys on round 40. Alrighty, so for tier 1, gonna be honest, I did a terrible job farming, only having 1 IMF loan and 2 marketplaces by 40. And a balloon trap isn't really most ideal, but hey, guess I'd say I tried. Anyways, probably worth setting up the BADS right now, which I'm assuming Bads would be strong enough to hopefully be able to actually beat tier 1 of Bloonarius. If not, be a bit disappointing. Especially seeing that this thing is 12k. But who knows, Anyways, putting it on target independent, let's just start stacking buffs, which we do have a fair amount of money for specifically buffs, so I guess there is that. And looking at the damage so far, BADS is doing pretty well. Of course, I don't really think this would work on Elite, especially not doing better than Sticky Bomb or anything like that, but I guess one could hope. Anyways, it's probably worth setting up the farms. Now, if you don't know, in the most recent update, 32.0, farming was nerfed. I do believe that Monkeyopolis did get hit with a with like an income generation nerf, so that will probably be a bit of an issue that you'll notice like later on. I'm not really sure if that would actually change the farming strategy now. I'm going to assume that the answer is no, as I still do think, as of course, Monkeyopolis is still the most efficient method of farming. But other than that, I'm not really sure if this anyways. We kind of suck against the SRAM wave there. Interesting. Well, something Geraldo's glue can't fix. Although, Ronaldo's glue was hit with like a pierce nerf, so I'm not necessarily sure if that would even still work. Let's also get Creepy Idol as well, and see if that, and glue and Creepy Idol is enough to help clear the wave. Which it seems to have been able to. Put down 2 glue, because glue was also hit with a pierce nerf, got reduced from 300 to 100, so that's kind of a huge difference there, but even still, glue is still coming in clutch there. And Bloon Trap is making some pretty nice money. Already made 8,000, so pretty nice. And BADS was able to actually beat tier 1 of Bloonarius, although it did need a bit of help from glue as well as Creepy Idol, but it's fine. Still do think it did pretty well, in my opinion. Now for defense, let's see, what would I even want? Well, first off, let's not die to camos, so let's get that. I can't really go for, like, anything. Honestly, Ninja Alk, I'm not even sure why I'm overthinking it. Ninja Alk can solo up to, like, the, what, 30s? Not the 30s, the mid-50s. Of course, Ninja Alk can solo up to the, 30s. So, of course, still will be going through the same farming strategy. While they will say, 49, I still don't have my second BRF, in my opinion, is kind of disappointing. Definitely think I could be doing a bit better in the farming department, but it has been a while since I actually done a boss, so still getting used to all the farming that you had to do. Alright, so for tier 2, I'm feeling very poor right now. I am very far off from Bez, and only have like a 2 farmopolis and like a plantation. It seems that the new farming strategy I was doing didn't really help me out here. I guess it was first time trying it, so I guess there's that. Anyways, I probably should start setting up my support right now, seeing as I won't be able to afford Bez at the moment. I'll have to get it mid-round. I'm thinking that maybe BADS has enough in the tank, but I'm not really too sure. I did do Jar Pickles just to increase damage. I think Bads on its own does like, what, 4 damage per shot? So I think this increases like, what, to 6 with the Alk buff as well as Jar Pickles. Not really 100% sure as I don't really use BADS too often. I could sell the Bloon Traps, so the Bloon Traps are kind of making passive income right now, as well as the fact that I don't really feel like that would do too much right now. 63 is coming in, so hopefully we have enough Pierce, and yes we do. We're almost to Bez, a little over. We good here? We good? Okay. I think glue ran out of Pierce. Wow, we're really feeling those Pierce nerfs. I think I might even have to drop a second idol, as well as this is be my last glue. Yeah. This guy really does suck with Pierce, but he does do pretty well against Super Cerams late game, so I guess that's another plus sign. He doesn't really do well against Cerams before 80. This Ceram wave here might be. Can we clutch this up? Are we good? We are not good. Okay, we're close to Bez though. We're like 2k off, so I think once I get close, I might just sell one of the Bloon Traps. I think I might just sell it now and get Bez. And then Bez should hopefully solo this. There we are. There we are. And then once I sell the Bez, I really do need to farm hard for tier 3. Because I think I need to for like Ultra Boost and Cripple and Brittle by tier 2. Then for tier 4 and 5, we'll start working on Temple and whatnot. So hopefully, and of course Glue Strike. So tier 2, Bez is doing pretty good. But slightly disappointing, I actually had to go straight for the tier 5 in order to actually be able to beat this. You know, it's just kind of barely beating it right now, but I guess it's kind of feeling the effects of, you know, poor farming, you know, before 40. So I guess, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, your farming early game really does affect your mid as well as your late game, because we are very behind when it comes to farming at the current moment. But thankfully, when I sell Bez, I'll get like, I don't even know instead, maybe just like a Mauler on Strong. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I just lost money, but that's fine. Like, well, like a Mauler on Strong, and actually can't never miss solo up to 79. Because I do think, like, because the buffs was that good now, it's able to solo all the way up to 79. Again, I hope it's able to, because if not, that would really be bad for me. Oh, it's not even, I didn't even upgrade Sniper Miss, wow. I guess I'll just do, what, Wing Monkey? Oh, Center Path. But I think this guy does solo all the way up to 80, so. And the good thing about it is I can give this guy Monkey Town, because he will be doing the majority of our damage. So I guess that is a current good thing. And we don't have a lot of space for farms. It's something I just kind of noticed with Alpine Run. So I guess that's another difficult portion about it. Let's sell the Bloon Trap, as I don't feel like it's doing too much. And we kind of want as many pops that we can get from Monkey Town. We only have 10 rounds to be able to afford as much as possible. So I think after these BRF I'm going to get, we're going to have to start spamming Central Markets just kind of all around the map for the increased sellback. As well, just kind of hoping and praying that Never Miss is good enough to be able to solo all the way up to 80, but I think it should. Although I will say, I think when it was discovered, Never Miss can solo up to 80. That was done on like a longer map. I think it was like either like Park Path or Logs. But either way, Never Miss has still put in some good work for the mid game. Too bad I never really used Never Miss too much, simply just because Spectre, the tier 4 Spectre in my opinion, isn't very good. I think, you know, Spectre of course is like meant for like a save for big plane, but even then big plane I find is still really disappointing and not really worth going for. So really I just don't bother with Never Miss anyways. I don't really like buying towers I don't plan on using for the late game. So yeah, I never actually use bottom path Ace. Sky Shredder, in my opinion, just kind of outclasses it. Anyways, I will see you guys on the tier 3 of Bloonarius. Alright, next tier Bloonarius. Again, we are still behind on general support, but I feel like I have recovered maybe somewhat. So hopefully I'm hoping that this defense right now is able to solo the boss at the moment, as I, again, still need to catch back up on farming. Still very much behind, But I do think that, Call to Arms, Overclock, as well as Glue Strike will be enough to actually be able to beat this tier. Although again, not really 100% sure. Although looking at the damage, it does seem that we are doing it fast enough. Again, Bloonarius just spawns Moabs at this tier, which Bez should easily be able to handle. If not, I have no idea what I would do. But again, this is past 80, and Bez does a lot better against Super Ceramics than Bez does against regular Cerams, just due to Bez getting Pierce Capital with regular Cerams. I did sell the Monkeyopolis to get a bigger Monkeyopolis. It's not really too massive, as I didn't really overclock it, as well as, you know, just kind of do general buffs. But hopefully that won't like come bite me in the butt later, as again that will you know, farming right now is not very good. At the moment, I don't think I'm on pace to afford Temple by the next tier, if I'm being completely honest. Again, this won't worry me too much because we still do have a lot of support that isn't Temple, like of course Cripple and Super Brittle and whatnot, Ultra Boost as well as Homeland. But then again, just kind of having, I'd rather just kind of have it now than later. I might actually consider selling the Monkeyopolis I have right now to just like Ultra Boost it to get a just like an even bigger Opolis. And I did bring Geraldo as well, and Geraldo does give increased range at the current moment with the Camo Potion. So at least there's that. But tier 3 does seem that, you know, Bez with, you know, minor buffs is easily able to beat this tier. Hopefully tier 4 will also be I guess a bit smoother than this, as again, I'm very behind on farms. So next plan of action, just kind of getting Ultra Boost. I will have to sell this Bez, unfortunately, to invest in even more farms. At this point, and for tier 3, I usually would like to keep the tower. It's again, at this point, you know, I'd have so much money that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily need to sell the tower anymore, but that unfortunately is not the case at the moment. Although I'm not really sure what tower I'd want to use to solo all the way up to 80s. Kind of thinking about it, there's no really cheap tower that does. I mean, I guess I can maybe get Big Trap. Big Trap for just general money. And again, Bloon Trap or Big Trap doesn't really solo all the way up to that. So, I think Big Trap might have been a mistake, but I guess we can see, because Big Trap I think can solo 88 at the moment. If not, I can always throw down Geraldo's stuff. Geraldo is still pretty good even after the kind of a nerf. Although Moabs are going to be a problem. I was thinking about stalling. What if I just stall with Superstorm and then just have Big Trap beat up the rest? This gives kind of an expensive defense, although I can't really think of what I would do right now. Actually, I have an even better idea. Just get Sun Avatar. But yeah, once I figure this out, I'll report back to you guys. So see you for Tier 4. Alrighty, so Tier 5 coming up really soon. I ultra boosting Monkeyopolis to max, making 2400 per crate, which is pretty nice. Anyways, probably should start working on support, so let's get this guy on strong, get him up to cripple, and then get this guy all the way up to super brittle. Now I was gonna hope that this is enough. Oh, wasn't able to start ultra boosting Bez, so Bez is a lot weaker than he then I guess he really could be at the current moment. Not really much more I can do in support, unfortunately. Let's see. The only thing left to do is, of course, Temple, which I think I will get up here also. Please don't die here. Thanks, Bez. Bez is doing, wow, amazing right now. Even without Temple, he's absolutely shredding. And I think Super Brittle's out of range, which is even more impressive. So I guess I underestimated Bez a bit. Was kind of worried that just because of my just trying out new farming strategies early game really did kind of screw me over just a little bit, but hopefully able to come back, which it seems we are, as again this tier is getting absolutely melted. So only thing left to do is just get the big, not the big trap, the or we can get big trap, you just gotta get the temple. And surprisingly doing pretty well. I did allow myself to use a kiddie pool just to get Energizer, as again, you can't really consider it super buffed if we don't have all the buffs we can get. Even though Bez doesn't directly benefit from Energizer, Energizer is pretty useful when it does come to when it just comes to resetting Homeland and of course Glue Strike's cooldown. Of course Ultra Boost as well. I do think that's what 50k in support, so we just gotta wait until we actually are able to afford this, in which I probably should start farming yet again. Like by now I should be having so much money that I don't have to worry about farming, but I don't even have a Banana Central and it's like really late at this point. No point in really selling Bez just because again I already have all 10 stacks, and so at this point it would just kind of be a waste. And also Bez is struggling a little bit against these DTs, which is even surprising. Like despite having max Ultra Boost, it's still not doing as quite well as I thought it would. But anyways, I'll see you guys for the last tier of Bloonarius. Alrighty, one round before, and well, I think we'll just barely be able to afford the temple. And I don't think that's 50k in support, so let's just get expertise to round this out. So let's just start selling everything, because I think this is all the support I can realistically get. It is a bit of a shame I wasn't really able to. Wow, it is just barely. Oh cool, temple's restricted. That's cool. Oh, I didn't look at the restrictions for this week, but I do think that tier 4 should be good enough. I think it should be. The only thing that's left is, of course, I guess plus 2 damage to camos won't hurt. Let's do Jar Pickles. +1 probably won't do much at this point. And I think that's really about it. Just kind of looking at everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, last tier of Bloonarius. Does Bez have it within itself? Let's get this guy on strong first, and then let's get a second Chinook just in case one is not enough for Bez to be fully up. Or not for Bez, for Super Brittle to be fully up. And I do believe that Bez does maybe have enough. Kind of looking at the damage, does seem to be a bit sketch, I will say. I guess not really having a tier 4 temple this week did I guess did really kind of or having a tier 5 temple really does make a difference. I do believe the tier 5 True Sun God buff is stronger than tier 4. Although again, I don't really read the wiki page on that, especially for towers like True Sun God, which I don't really use too often unless I'm doing it in the context of bosses. But we're kind of nearing the first skull, and it seems that Bez is doing kind of like at the eye test, maybe like 6,000. No, 6,000 too much. That's Paragon levels. No, I'd say more so like 1,000 damage per second. It seems to be just barely enough. The only issue is range. Once Bloonarius leaves its range, I'm not really sure how far the range for whatchamacallit is right now. And it does seem that we are struggling a bit against the round 123 bats that Bloonarius spawns, which is a bit surprising. I figured that Bez would have some pretty good BAD damage, but I think we might just barely be able to beat it. It seems that we're gonna, beat the get Bloonarius down to the second skull like a little under halfway. And I forgot to move this guy, so we lost a lot of damage there. Would you look at that? So we should be doing a lot better now. It's probably why the bads were so bad, because they're missing out the damage from Brittle. Which does give +5, which is probably huge at this stage. Now the only issue is we have to beat this guy before 140, but I think we should maybe be able to do it a little over 15 rounds in order to do it. And I dropped this blade trap a little while ago, just kind of a safety measure. We haven't even used it, which is kind of surprising to be honest. Yeah, it does seem like even without tier 5 temple, Bez is easily able, or not, I won't really say easily, but Bez is able to beat tier 5 Bloonarius. Now the only thing we have to worry about is DTs as well as this last bad here, which is getting a bit far. I think I might have to drop this guy. Maybe. Hopefully that answer is no. Seems like the answer is no. So, we should have this in the bag right here. Alrighty. So, that's it. Seems that Super Buff Bez is enough to take down all 5 tiers of normal Bloonarius. Of course, this wouldn't really be possible on Elite, but we can always hope and pray that maybe someday there would be a bug that you can abuse that, may either makes Bloonarius weaker or in general just makes towers like 10 times stronger. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, join Discord, link is down below in the description. Also join the contested territory team Double Gun enjoyers. It's because why not? If you're an engineer fan, or more specifically, if you love the upgrade Double Gun, well, team's for you. The code for the team is in the description if you want to join. And yep, that's pretty much it. Super Buff Bez was able to beat Bloonarius.